What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
So I've been driving rideshare, aka Lyft and Uber, for a little over a year now, year and a half now. So I've had the opportunity to drive for both Coachella and Stagecoach, which are two music festivals that happen out in Indio at the polo clubs. Coachella obviously been going on for almost 20 years now, I think, close to 20 years. Stagecoach, fairly more recent. Stagecoach, country music, for the most part, country music. And it's one weekend. Coachella, 2 weekends. Used to be more alternative music, throwback music, 90s artists that kind of had a resurgence. Now it's it's more trendy, more popular. A lot of variety of music at Coachella, but there's definitely huge differences in the people that show up to these events. Now, before I get started, if you are looking to make money doing either of these, it's pretty easy to sign up. I'd recommend, if you even think about it, I would just go through the process of signing up. That way you are ready to go make money whenever you feel like just logging in and driving people around. But if you want to use either of my codes to get a little bonus, a little bit of extra when you sign up to do either of these, if you're signing up for Lyft, use my code RAY180. That's RAY180. And if you're signing up for Uber, it's RAYT5661UE. I don't know why it's so crazy long in the Uber one, but if you want to, I signed up for both. The sign-up process is pretty similar for both, so go ahead and use those codes and get a little bit of extra for driving. But definitely a good time to drive. There's a lot of traffic involved with driving, which the placement of where the polo grounds are, not necessarily set up to handle the kind of traffic that's involved, especially if Beyonce is in town or if it's Stagecoach. Leonard Skinner is in town, tends to draw a bit of traffic to the venue. But there's a lot of differences. So one thing off the bat, let me go with Coachella. A lot of people talk shit about Coachella, at least in the Valley. It's kind of like, I don't know, in general, people talk shit about Coachella. You know, it's because it's expensive. It's a lot of trendy people looking to get noticed, which is fine. That's whatever. But I would say there's far more diversity in the types of people that go to Coachella than Stagecoach. Stagecoach is white central. Every once in a while, there'll be a token black person, a Mexican person, an Asian person. Sometimes I'll even get multiple in a group of white people, but it's primarily white people. Now I'm driving a minivan. I'm taking groups of people to these events. So I'm seeing what groups are going. There's tons of people going in general, but I'm seeing a good cross-section, not only from the people I'm picking up, but also just the other people I'm seeing at drop-off and just what's in the Valley. And it's so clear. Like, you know when Stagecoach is in town because you see far more lifted trucks, far more lifted pickups. You're seeing flags. This year, I only saw American flags. Last year, I saw a few Confederate flags. But it's that flavor of person, obviously, when you're dealing with country music, which in itself, country music, from what I've heard anyway, from people that follow music and the music industry and understand things, and there's pretty racist genre of music, country music. Like the people that are in charge of the top charts don't. It's very difficult for a black country artist to be considered country. They don't get that distinction because of the color of their skin a lot of the times, and you can kind of tell from the audience that shows up that there's not a whole lot of diversity in the genre of music itself. So not surprising. I did see a black dude wearing a MAGA hat yesterday on his way to Stagecoach, which is very interesting. I don't know if it's something that he's passionate about, or maybe he's just trying to fit in with the other people. I don't know. He's or just rebelling against his parents. Maybe he's like, fuck you, mom and dad. Like I'm all about the racist president we have now. But yeah. So, and then drugs, as far as the difference is booze. I mean, Stagecoach is primarily booze. Some weed, but booze 100%. 100% beer, and then all the hard alcohols are kind of the drug of choice for Stagecoach. And even the atmosphere, because there's a lot less people going to Stagecoach, people are bringing like their lawn chairs, and it's like, it's a good night out with. I get it. It's music festivals are awesome, but definitely booze is the drug of choice for Stagecoach. Where with Coachella, it's everything, right? I mean, you're getting Coachella is just a far more diverse in every way, right? You're getting the racial profile of people, every single race of person I have seen, like mixed. Like you get the most eclectic people going in groups to Coachella. Or I mean, I had tons of just vanfuls. Like was part of like a 3 or 4 Uber van and one taxi like kind of group of a bunch of people from Japan that didn't speak English. I mean, the leader of the group did, but it was there's not a whole lot of communication needed if I'm just driving them to the place they put in their app. But I can't even think of one group of people while Stagecoach was in town that I drove around. It's primarily white people. Drugs, far more diverse with Coachella. Obviously, weed, mushroom, psychedelics in general, mushrooms, acid. Molly is a big party drug. But like pretty much everything else seems to be involved with Coachella. And it's not necessarily people. It's people that go to Stagecoach think that Coachella people are just wasted all the time. Like they think they're drinking a lot too. Versus the reality of Stagecoach is far more. I've drove during the day, and majority of people I took were pre-gaming and wasted on the way to Stagecoach. Versus Coachella, everybody was fairly sober. At least they weren't drunk. They could have been high as fuck. I mean, because you can kind of function under most drugs, but booze makes people loud and obnoxious, and by far more people were pre-gaming before Stagecoach than Coachella, and it's just that's why I don't drive people late at night. I just can't stand. I can't stand drunk people, man. I cannot stand them. I cannot stand them. You want to talk about some of the most annoying people on the face of the planet? It's a group of drunk people. And I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure I know I've been part of annoying drunk people groups. My Uber rating reflects that. The few times I've taken Uber, it's usually because I'm wasted at the end of a comedy show or whatever going home. And there's been times I'm with people and you can't control the other people in your group, but you're going to get rated no matter what, because as a driver, they get to rate you. Even though I never really look at ratings, but if they get a low enough rating, then they just won't be able to use the service anymore. But yeah, far more. And just, I don't know. It's Coachella is they get a lot of shit. They got a lot of necessary shit. Most of the people I drove were super nice, super intelligent. Like just overhearing conversations they were having. Just they're all professional. A lot of them are professionals doing things that this is like their big getaway to unplug from everything and have fun with their friends. And that makes sense. Where Stagecoach is like it's completely different atmospheres. Completely different atmospheres. But that's just my opinion from driving. I don't attend. I don't know once you're there how different it is. But those are kind of my thoughts on, because people ask me all the time because I'm driving. These are this is what I think is different. And better, I think people that go to Coachella are better than people that go to Stagecoach. But that's it for this episode. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. InspiredDisorder.com for all of my original artwork. Go buy some paintings now at Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out!